The New York Rangers have a pretty clear need this offseason to potentially add in a top 6 caliber forward that is kind of big and physical and kind of play that, tough, physical, gritty kind of game, but also be a top 6 caliber player if they don't fully believe in a guy like Brendan Othmann or Brett Berard really making that big step into the top 6. We haven't seen them play consistent time at the NHL level. Berard still hasn't even made his NHL debut yet. Othmann played out a bit there, but obviously didn't really get a big run with the team. So do they believe they can both, or one of them obviously, be a true kind of top 6 forward right away? I'm not quite sure. So it'd definitely be interesting to see, and I wouldn't be against that. But if they don't, they definitely need to find a true kind of top 6 forward to add in alongside probably Kreider and Zibanejad. So we're going to take a look at all the guys that kind of fit that style of being a fairly big, decent size, top 6 caliber forward, but also has a physical game. And honestly, there's not too many of them who are true kind of top 6 forwards at the NHL level. Some of these guys are kind of more middle 6 guys. We want them as more of a kind of second liner or third liner. But let's take a look at them here. I have 6 different forwards to talk about. Starting off here with Tyler Bertuzzi, who I'm sure a lot of Rangers fans will be interested in. He is a true top 6 caliber forward. He's probably going to be in the right price range for the Rangers, maybe on kind of the higher end of that, but he definitely should be a very good player for this team to target. And some of these players, I definitely will have individual videos come out on, kind of talking about more of them in depth individually, so definitely stay tuned for that. And don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed as well. But carrying on here, though, like I said, I think he's probably going to be in the right price range here for the Rangers. He's a very tough, gritty, hard-nosed player to play against, plays a very physical, tough game, and is one of those kind of, ratty players at times where he definitely can, try and piss the other team off there, get under their skin, and draw some penalties and kind of play that kind of a role there. So that is definitely nice. He's got good size at 6'1" there, had a really good season there with the Leafs, and also had a pretty great playoff performance as well with them, not too bad. Had a very good playoff run with the Boston Bruins last season. So I think overall, he would be a great target for this New York Rangers team who need a winger as well. I mean, this is a guy who can play left and on the right side as well, which is definitely nice to have that versatility. He's a very solid, gritty, tough player who is a true top 6 caliber forward, which fits exactly the New York Rangers need right now. Next up here, we have Adam Henrique, who was a possible target for the Rangers at this year's NHL trade deadline. He ended up going to the Oilers, who have obviously gone on a great run. They're in the Stanley Cup Finals right now, so he's getting a lot of good experience there. He is a very solid player, veteran guy. He's been around the league for a very long time. He's 34 years old. He's about 6 foot, so not the greatest size there, but is a pretty physical player who definitely plays with a bit of toughness to his game. Very solid kind of two-way guy. Can help on the penalty kill as well, so a pretty solid kind of defensive forward, which would be a nice fit alongside Zibanejad and Kreider, who obviously are pretty good kind of two-way guys. They're both penalty killers as well, so having a full line there, a pretty good kind of defensive line with also having some pretty good offense would not be a bad idea. He also can play left wing, center, and right wing, so very versatile there. Can play, third line center if we needed to, or possibly play up on one of the top lines there alongside Zibanejad and Kreider, so could be a pretty good fit there, and you can kind of swap around him and Hedl, whichever way you want to do that. So overall, I think it would be a great fit on this team. Had a pretty good regular season, but definitely did not have the best overall offensive production in the playoffs on their run so far. And next up here, we have Anthony Mantha, who I think would be a pretty good fit on this team. He is 6'5". He's not an extremely physical player, although he is fairly physical. Definitely can hit, plays a pretty tough game for the most part, but he's definitely not some, super kind of gritty, tough player, although he is 6'5". He's not hitting everything that moves. He still hits and obviously plays a physical game, but he's definitely not some crazy physical guy, although he is 6'5", which is phenomenal size. He is a kind of true top 6 caliber player, though. He's got that kind of talent. He is on the right side, on the right wing most of the time, but he definitely is a left shot, so obviously that's kind of nice there for the one-timer sometimes. But the main thing with him is over his NHL career so far, he has battled a ton of injuries, so that definitely could factor into the Rangers' decision there, but he still would be a very talented player on this team. And he did have a pretty good regular season, but did not play great in the playoffs. Had 3 games played, no points, so obviously that's a little disappointing, but still a very talented overall player. Next up here, we have the ageless wonder, David Perron, who continues to produce at a very high level offensively, even though he is 36 years old. He's definitely getting up there in age, but he is still a very good player. Now, maybe he is more of a middle 6 guy at this point. Definitely could play alongside possibly Zibanejad and Kreider. Probably would be more like a 1-year deal, but definitely should be in the right price range here for the Rangers. Could be on the cheaper end of things here compared to a lot of these other guys. I think would be a pretty nice fit. He's a very talented playmaker, solid goal scorer. Even though he is 36 years old, he is still a very solid player. He's got all right size at 6 foot, but can play left wing and right wing, so very versatile. He is 36 years old, but still a very physical player. As the last 2 seasons, he has had over 100 hits in each of those seasons with the Detroit Red Wings, so Still a very physical guy, although he is getting older, 36 years old. Is definitely not young for an NHLer, but still very talented. Still has that kind of top 6 caliber upside, although he's probably more of like a second, third liner. Still very talented offensively. Good playmaker, good goal scorer. I think would be a very nice fit on this team. Next up here, we have Jake DeBrusk, who is a very physical player. I think could be a really nice fit in this team. Last season had 107 hits. He's a very physical player, although he is only 6 foot. Not the biggest in the world. He definitely is a very tough physical player. Would be a nice fit on this team. Has a bit of an edge to his game as well, which is a need for this squad. I think it might be a little out of the price range for the Rangers possibly. He doesn't turn 28 until October, so a bit younger compared to a lot of these other players, but still I think could be a really nice fit in this team. And Jake has experience playing left wing and right wing, so he is kind of versatile in that sense. He is a left-handed shot, but still can play on the right side there, which would be kind of a nice thing to have. Like I said, a very physical guy. Ended up having a phenomenal playoff run with the Bruins there, having 11 points in 13 games played. He was fantastic there. Had a good regular season. I think would be a phenomenal fit on this team, and definitely is a pretty good playoff performer as well. And the final player we're going to talk about is more of a kind of underrated guy who could possibly maybe make a step up into kind of full-time role in the top 6, as this was his first season of really doing so with the Edmonton Oilers, and that is Warren Foegele. He is normally more of a bottom 6 kind of guy, ended up really kind of taking the step into the top 6, playing alongside guys like McDavid and Draisaitl for a bit there, ended up having his best season by far of his NHL career. Like I said, more of a bottom 6 kind of guy, but maybe can make the jump up here and there to play in the top 6 alongside guys like Crichton Zibanejad possibly. Solid kind of two-way guy. Definitely could help out on the penalty kill, which is quite nice. He ended up having 40 out of his 41 total points scored this season at even strength or shorthanded, which is definitely very nice. Like I said, a good defensive forward there. Can help out on the PK, which is nice. This is his first season though in the top 6, so maybe wouldn't be the best fit to be a full-time guy there, but could possibly be a decent option for fairly cheap as well. He's not going to be nearly expensive as some of these other guys, and could allow a guy like Othman or Berard to possibly get a decent look there alongside guys like, obviously, Zibanejad and Kreider in that top 6, while also being able to kind of flow back and forth in the top 6 and the bottom 6 there. Could be a nice cheap fit on this team. He is 6'2", has pretty good size there, obviously. Very physical player, tough guy out there on the ice. And as a full-time kind of top 6 option, he's not my favorite out of these players that I mentioned in this video, but definitely could be a decent fit on this team. Overall, though, just to wrap things up here, I think there are some very talented players in free agency who are top 6 caliber forwards and play a very nice physical game, but there's not a ton of them, and the ones that are physical like this, like a Jake DeBrusk, a Tyler Bertuzzi especially, these guys are going to be very sought after from other teams as well, so some teams might come and overpay for them and put them into the price range for the Rangers, so hopefully Drury and this front office can get the job done here. Add in some of these guys I mentioned in this video, at least one of them would be quite nice, but it's going to be tough. If they can get one, fantastic, but if not, they might look in free agency to get someone else, or possibly in a trade as well to add in a top 6 caliber player, which I think we kind of need. I wouldn't mind seeing Othman or Berard kind of get their shot, but if the Rangers don't really trust in one of those guys to make a full-time kind of top 6 role this upcoming season, they're going to have to look in free agency or possibly through trade to get one of these guys to really make a good impact on this team that we definitely need. Anyways, though, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please smash the like button. Don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on these players. Who do you want to see the Rangers sign? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for daily New York Rangers content. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next one. Bye.